So, Johnny, let's see. What do we have next on the agenda? Let's see. We are going to.
Well, you go for your division picks and wildcard spots.
All right. So,
I have to admit, I've not looked at myself, but I do have Craig's, and I've got your ones, but I'll just wing it.
all right. So, let's start with the AFC East. I will tell you the finish of all four teams in the AFC East. If you don't want to do all four teams, that's okay. You can just say the division winner. However, in the AFC East, I have it as in this order. Number one, division winner, Miami Dolphins. Number two, New York Jets. And yes, at number three, missing the playoffs, Buffalo Bills. And the last team will be the New England Patriots. And it puts a smile on my face to say it. Pez, who do you have in the AFC East?
I'm going to go... this is the one where I kept changing when I looked at it. I'm going to go with... Because I thought the Jets at first, but I thought it's the Jets and they literally, they just... they can't do anything right. So I'm going to go the Dolphins, the Bills, the Jets, the Patriots.
Okay. Johnny?
Well, I'm going to go against you. I'm only really going to go for the winner because I've not had a chance to think about it much of it. But I'm still going to go. I'm still going to go with the Bills. The Bills, because you've got Josh Allen. Tua can't play in the cold. The Jets are the Jets. Patriots are piss. And I just let you know that Craig has also chose the Dolphins. He's only picked the winners. So.
All right. So
three Dolphins
two for the Dolphins, one for the Bills, and one for the.
Three Dolphins.
Wait. Who did you say, Johnny?
I'm going for the Bills. Craig's going for the Dolphins.
And I got the Dolphins. Pez has the
Dolphins.
Who did you go with, Pez?
Dolphins.
Okay. Yeah. So we got three for the Dolphins, one for the Bills. Excellent. All right. So I will move on to the AFC North, and we'll just keep going in this order. I'll go first, then Pez, and then Johnny. So in the AFC North, finishing first, as long as Lamar Jackson stays healthy. If he misses 4 games, I change my prediction. Number 1, Baltimore Ravens. Number 2, Cincinnati Bengals. Number 3, Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 4, Cleveland Browns. Because the Browns got a Brown after last year. It's just how they do it. That's how they roll. Dr. Pez, who do you have in the AFC North?
I'm going to go Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. I was going to put Steelers higher, but then their whole line's been decimated because I feel like no one's talking about all the weapons they have on their defense. And they always have a stout defense anyway with Tomlin. But I just feel like every single layer of that defense has just got killers on it. And I think the defense will do more damage, but I think Russ needs a solid O-line. At the stage of his career, he needs a solid O-line to be able to, get the job done on offense. So I had to drop them down a place. I was going to try and be controversial.
I was going to try and do the Steelers at number 2 as well, but I can't. I think it's going to be the Ravens and Bengals ahead of them. Johnny, who do you have?
Right, well, I am going to go with the Bengals. I think they're going to start 0-2, but they are going to win the division. And I just have a feeling they're going to lose the first 2 games like they normally do with them. Pull it out of the hat and then win the division.
Bengals always start.
They're going to lose against the Patriots.
I think they're going to fuck it up somehow. The Patriots' defense is usually pretty strong, and they never start well. Case hasn't practiced.
Burrow has started slow every year.
So I probably won't be picking against them, but I just he always gets killed in the opening game of the season. So they're not great starters. So that'll be the surprise of the week. I might even pick that as my underdog. But
I was going to say Johnny's underdog, the Patriots.
I do actually think. Well, I do actually think the Steelers will have a losing record this year, so they may end up fourth in the division.
Oh, wow.
It's going to happen at some point, and those quarterbacks are
here.
And Craig has gone for the Ravens as well. But
by the way, Johnny, it would be the first time Mike Tomlin has had a losing season as the head coach of the Steelers.
I know, but it's got to happen sometime.
It's got to happen. Maybe. Who knows? I guess if it could happen to Bill Belichick, whatever. All right, let's move to the AFC South. Here, I struggled to pick who I thought would win because I think really all four of these teams could end up being the division winner. They're so closely comparable, really. Back, I went in this order. Number 1, Texans. Number 2, Colts. Number 3, Titans. Number 4, Jags. I think the Titans are going to actually surprise a lot of people, and I think they could push for a playoff spot this year. Yeah. But who do you have, Dr. Pez?
Texans, Jags, and then Colts and Titans, just because Titans, Will Levis hasn't shown enough to prove that he can get it done. So that's an unknown. The Texans have just got stronger somehow in pretty much both sides of the ball. The Jags, I think everyone's sleeping on them. Trevor Lawrence has looked really good in preseason, really sharp. With Doug Peterson, with a full season and a full preseason, off season with Doug Peterson now. Trevor Lawrence just gives me that vibe of Carson Wentz, and if you remember what he did at the Eagles with Carson Wentz before he got injured, they were like killing teams left, right, and center. And I obviously we're talking actual football. I'm still not sold on Anthony Richardson because the things he showed me in preseason are the things that people had question marks about him coming into the league. Like, we all know he can run. We all know he's a big guy, but it's his throwing and his decision-making whilst passing are his biggest questions. And I feel like he's not really put anyone at ease in the preseason that he's actually developed them things.
I have the Colts second because of Jonathan Taylor. I think he's going to have close to 1,500 yards this year. So I think he will propel them to a second-place finish in that division. Johnny, who do you have?
Well, I've got the Texans as well, and Craig's also got the Texans. Sorry for my clock up. The team that was going to start 0-2 and win the division and probably go all the way was the Chiefs, not the Bengals. This is what happens when I don't prepare, because I've got the Ravens and I've got the Bengals. They knew there was one of the favourites in divisions were going to go to 0-2. Like I say, I'm just winging it this morning because it's not much thing to do in the end. But yes, so that's the Chiefs are going to lose the first two. So you know who my Thursday night pick's going to be, even without the spread.
And then let's move on to the AFC West. I thought this division was going to be a lot more difficult, but after I put the teams down, it was fairly simple, straightforward. Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. I think I think the Broncos are going to improve a lot this season. They're going to show they're on the upswing. But the teams that have the amount of cap dead space as the Broncos have typically finished with one of the worst records in the league. However, I don't think they'll finish with one of the worst, but it's going to be hard to, finish in the playoffs with that amount of cap dead space. Dr. Pez, what do you think?
Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos.
Okay. Yep. Johnny?
Just because.
Yep, go ahead. Sorry.
I just think Jim Harbaugh, everyone's hyped about him, and this. I think it might take him a season just to sort his team out. Herbert's got this foot injury. That's not a great start. So I feel like they might have a bit of teething problems this season, but then Harbaugh will get it all ironed out. So I think by that point, no, they would have lost too many games.
It could, yeah. Herbert's foot could certainly play a role in where they finish. Johnny, what do you think?
Oh, it's got to be the Chiefs. So they should be winning it quite easy. I know they get hard games against some of the teams, but yeah, they're just the strongest team in that division by quite a long way. When you've got Mahomes, Kelsey, that offense, and their defense is pretty smart too. Even though they did lose, was it Snead? But they'll plug somebody in and take his place. But they should win that by quite easy. For that record, probably have the number one pick, number one slot in the playoffs.
I think so. Actually, the rest of the NFL are going to be scratching their head and asking themselves, how did we let them get Xavier Worthy?
Yeah,
they just allowed Mahomes to get his new weapon. And I think Worthy is going to soon be a top 5 wide receiver. Maybe not this year, but maybe in year 2.
They're going to dust off that Tyreek Hill playbook from a couple of years ago and just go, Xavier, learn that, have it ready for week 1, and they're just going to take the pace out of everyone.
Hollywood Brown's pretty fast as well, though. So, if he gets fit, then they've got 2 up to watch. It's going to be even harder. So.
Double jet sweeping, and it's just a 30-yard pass to Travis Kelce instead.
Yep.
And then they let him get Wiley to replace Kelce in a year or 2. Wow. I mean, it's amazing.
Yep.
So here is my prediction on the playoff teams. Number 1, Chiefs. Number 2, Dolphins. 3, Ravens. 4, Texans. 5, Chargers. 6, Bengals. And the last playoff team will be the New York Jets. As much as I hate Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he'll tear his other Achilles. And then I can let the Steelers in.
Right.
As who you got in your playoff? You don't have to do the positioning if you don't want. I know you did not have time to think about that. However, if you'd like to, go for it.
So I've got my divisional winners. And then I'm going to say my 5th, 6th, and 7th teams are going to be the Jags, the Jets, and the Bills.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. We got something to talk about.
So I don't have the Ravens making the playoffs. That's a bit stupid, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice. All right, Johnny.
Well, I'll do Craig's ones first before I wing it. So Craig's wild cards are the Bengals, the Jets, and the Bills.
Okay.
My ones. I will go the Ravens, Dolphins, and the Raiders.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Nice. I love Gardner Minshew time, man. I love it.
I'm thinking more of the defense, actually, more than Gardner Minshew.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love to see Gardner Minshew in the playoffs.
I did fancy
There's always a sneaky one you don't expect, so I'll go for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Plus, I like Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
So.
Well, 50% of the teams are replaced each year. Last year the Chargers, Bengals, and Jets did not make the playoff. Or did the Bengals make it last? They did not make it last year, did they?
No.
So I have 3 of the 7 teams are new. So it's almost 50% for mine. I think Bez and I, we agree on all but one team. I believe that was the Chargers. You took the Bills, I believe. And Craig and I think, agreed on all 7 of our teams, except for in the